Guys, I have some question. What do you think of when you see the propaganda?
Propaganda?
Yeah.
In my view, I think that, as you can see in these three examples, lots of it is from the government, and like big people. So when I see the propaganda, like Munipar said, I think of kind of government or the government wanting you to do something.
I'd like to add on what Hannah said, because not just the government wants you to do something. For example, like Mac and PC wars, there's like, hey look, Mac, there's propaganda. Sometimes like Mac distorts the truth of what really happens. And then like Windows is like, hey, buy our product because they distort the truth of what happens, or and convinces you and everything. So it's just not just the government, it's advertisements in general.
I agree with what Hunter said, because right before the iPhone 6 and the Galaxy S5 came out, there were commercials like comparing the two and like saying not to favor one side because they're both have the same features.
So I have a question for both of you. So what you're saying is not only like the government can have propagandas, but like any company or the government or
Basically any company that sells stuff would most likely have a propaganda on it.
In my opinion, I think that it's any like major company that has competitors that are at an equal level of them.
Like, do you think they're lying about the opposite phone or something?
No,
they weren't speaking
between the yeah.
My opinion could be like, it's not all people they'll be, I mean, it's not all the government, there'll be other people that will judge you to do that.
Yeah.
It's not all the government, or the company. The other people that will judge you to do that.
Yeah.
But sometimes when they try and persuade people to get their phone, like, or whatever gaming console it is, sometimes they like some people go on websites and like multiple websites and look at the reviews for the phones, but I mean, just because the company says to buy their phone because it's better, bigger, and all that stuff, like it doesn't mean that it's actually better, because it could be a bit more glitchy or something like that.
Like when iOS 8 came out, it was for iPhone. I know it just doesn't apply to phones, but phone-wise, it was, iOS 8 was all glitchy and everything when it first came out with the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. And then they had to release a patch about a week or two later because they had to get it out, and it lied about how good iOS 8 was.
And then,
what are you thinking about this?
Well, I think how what Max said, Samsung and the iPhone. Like Samsung, they have a competitor with iPhone, so they're trying to make you buy their model compared to iPhones. They're comparing like the phone, how it's not that big and stuff.
What are you thinking on this?
I'm thinking that maybe we could get off the topic of iPhone.
Well, TV shows that.
me too, but I can agree with that.
Let's try and
What do
move
you
away
guys
from
think
the
the
electronics.
message of the three propaganda
I
ads are?
think it's about military and the press, about not always, like the ways, like I talked about before, how good the military is and how good it is when you, and like you stated before at halftime, that they may be telling, the government may be talking about something and telling lies to the press about, and they release it not knowing that it's not the truth.
Yeah, I can add on to what you're saying, because like they might go against another company or another group's idea just to make theirs better and more known and stuff.
Guys, I have some question. I don't know if it's good or not. Let me try it. Can propaganda be sound free from mistake or showing good judgment? Judgmenting. I don't know that.
Judgment.
Judgment, yeah.
question. I think propagandas can be, I don't know, usually, even in the definition of propaganda, it says false or not right or biased. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I agree with what Hannah said because straight in the question says free from mistakes, but they say that it can have false information and be biased.
I agree with Max because it will, like, it's this distorting of the truth and free from mistakes or showing good judgment. I mean, they could fake good judgment, but it still could be lies.
I would say that I say first. I would say like the one could be free. I mean, the one could be sound free because the propaganda helps some of the people. But
Is propaganda always negative?
I think no.
What do you think
I don't
on
think
that?
it always has to be negative. I mean, they are kind of lying, but I mean, like this, if the cat fits you, join the army today, that's not really negative. It's just trying to get more people involved with the military. They're just trying to get people jobs. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I agree with what Blake said because like they want you to join the army. They're like not forcing you. It's your own choice, but they're trying to persuade you to.
I disagree with Colin because for the second article, it says you write what you're told, and if someone sees that like right now in like a newspaper or something, then they might think that they're being told lies because they don't know whether the news is getting told what to say in by the government or whether they're actually telling the truth.
I think there's kind of a connection between the first and second art or pictures because at the top it says you write what you're told, so that kind of makes me think that the military is telling the press something different than what's actually happening. And the first one says loose talk costs lives, and it's a military guy talking. So I'm thinking maybe that it's saying the press is releasing what the military tells them, and it's not 100% true.
I'll add something about you write what you said. Sometimes you can write whatever they tell you, and they tell you. Some of them they're not true, some of them they're true. So you need to write that you think in your mind.
I agree with Max because, like, you know, the big conspiracy of Area 51. They could tell people that it doesn't exist, and the press or the military people would be like, "Oh yeah, it doesn't." And they tell the press that. The press writes it, but the conspiracy is still there. But anyway, pretty much there's they're like being told like a zombie. You're just doing anything what they say.
Yeah.
Okay, any last comments?